Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? Ah, that's great, that's great. It's always a lot of fun performing here in Canada. Let me tell you though, it's not easy being a stand-up comic. I've been doing this comedy circuit, see?
It's called open mic. They get together 2 to 6 of us comics and it's basically a competition to see who's the funniest. We have 3 performances to prove ourselves and get the most laughs. Each performance is longer than the one before, to prove that you've got the chops to last through a grueling set. And I've said it already, but comedy is not easy, my friend. Each audience is going to be totally different. Some nights you'll be out there trying to impress a bachelorette party and a church group at the same time.
So you start each performance by scoping out your audience, then writing jokes that you think they'll like. Now I'm going to go into a bit of comedian lingo here that might not be familiar to the layman.
Joke writing, as everyone knows, is done in the form of a card draft. Each comic starts with a hand of 5 joke cards and 1 action card, drafts 1 to their deck, and passes the rest to the comic on their left. This goes on until everyone has drafted 6 cards.
There's a lot that goes into putting together a good set of jokes. First of all, you want to match the symbols on your jokes as closely as possible to your audience. This bachelorette party here, see? The ladies love a funny man, but most of all, they love the sexual jokes and the gender jokes. Using jokes in your set that match the audience's taste is what's going to get you the most laughs. As everyone knows, there are 7 styles of humor. We've got crude, dark, sexual, racial, gender, lifestyle, and political. And each of those has slight variations within, represented by the shapes on the cards, circle, square, and triangle. You'll get some laughs from the bachelorette party by telling a sexual joke, but you'll get more if the joke is just right, a sexual circle symbol. So that's the first consideration. Easy, right? Well, there's a few more things to consider. Each audience has a topic they like hearing jokes about as well. This church group, they want to hear jokes about religion. If I'm able to fit a joke in my set with a matching topic on it, they're going to love it. One thing you learn after doing this for a while is how to put together a good set. You want it to flow. It's all about your transitions. Certain jokes are good openers. They'll have this exclamation mark on the left side. Others are good for closing your set with. They'll have an exclamation mark on the right side. Beyond that, jokes have 3 different transition symbols: circles, dashes, and hexes. You're going to get more laughs if you match up transition symbols from one joke to the next. Lastly, there's also the little matter of time constraints. I've got jokes for days, believe me. But these clubs, they only let you go on for a few minutes. In this competition, we're going to have to perform a 3-minute set, then a 4-minute set, then a 5-minute set, for progressively larger audiences. Each joke has a certain length. There's a half-minute jokes, 1-minute jokes, and 1.5-minute jokes. You're going to have to build a set of the right length each performance. After the joke writing, card drafting, now it's time for all of us comics to build sets.
Everyone shuffles their deck, then someone says go, and everyone starts building their set at the same time. The faster you can do it, the better. You don't need to, and probably won't, use all the jokes in your deck in a single set. The first one to finish takes one of their star tokens and puts it first in the set building line, and then flips over the timer. All the other comics now have 1 minute to finish. As each one finishes, they put their star in the set building line. After set building, now all of us comics can train in a skill that can help us specialize our comedy style. First choice goes to the comedians who finish their set the fastest. Once a skill is taken by someone, no one else can take it until the next performance. By the end of the competition, you'll have trained in 3 skills. The speed that we all finished our sets also helps determine what order we perform. The question, do you want to go on next, is asked of the comic who finished his or her set the fastest. If they pass, it's on to the next down the line until someone has to go on stage. After the performance is done, the comics are asked who wants to go on next from the front of the line once again. It's all about timing. You want to go on after a comic who bombed so you look better in the eyes of the audience. You'll get more laughs. No one wants to go on right after the guy who just killed it. After everyone's done, your jokes go back to your personal decks. You've written them after all. Tomorrow, a new set of audience members will shuffle out to the club and we'll get a chance to draft another 6 jokes to add to our decks. And who knows, maybe one of those jokes you wrote last night will be a hit tonight.
No, being a stand-up comic isn't easy, but I wouldn't want to do anything different. Some people are in it for the joke writing, some people just love the frantic set building phase, others want to prove they're funnier than their friends, and some are just in it for the cheesy punchlines on the joke cards. And that's why I always keep a pair of rubber gloves with me. What do you think I was watching men's gymnastics for? It's just potatoes! You've been a wonderful audience. Thanks and good night.